What do you do when you have a married couple where the wife makes more than the husband? We're going to talk about that coming up.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to an all-new edition of the Sunday Night Sit-Down with America's #1 money couple. I'm Talaat.
And I'm Tai, and we're from hisandhermoney.com, where we're managing money, marriage, and everything in between.
The Sunday Night Sit-Down is being brought to you by MetLife Auto and Home.
New home? Next, you'll need homeowners insurance. MetLife Auto and Home has options that fit your needs. One site, one stop, done. And move on to making yourself at home.
So what do you do when you have a husband and a wife, but the wife has the higher income? Now, for a lot of people, that could be a problem because there are these ideals out there that when you get married, the husband is the breadwinner and he should be making more. But in today's society, that's not always the case. And for some, that could be a source of contention. If you come into it with a certain mindset and think in a certain way, that could be frustrating for that wife, or that could be frustrating for that husband. And so we wanted to kind of deal with the tension that may be there for those in this situation.
So what do you do when the wife makes more? You do the same thing you do if the husband makes more. Believe it or not, guys, that was actually our story in the beginning of our marriage. For about the first 3 years or so, I was the one that was actually bringing in more income to the household. But you know what, guys? It didn't matter. I never made my husband feel less than. I never brought it up because you know what? It didn't matter. In our home, we believe that we are now one because we're married, so everything is oneness, including our money. So it didn't matter who was bringing home more money than the other. All the money went into the same pot, and we took care of all of our household needs. So we didn't have his money or her money or his expenses and her expenses. I know that there are a lot of married couples out there that actually take on the expense route where you take care of the mortgage, I take care of the light bill and the cable and maybe the items for the kids and the groceries, and you take care of, other utilities and the mortgage and things like that. And to me, guys, I actually think that that's a lot confusing, believe it or not, because I think that that's actually how tension can arise. Now, I know. Some of you guys are going to leave a comment and say, well, Ty and Tyler, because we've heard you before, it actually is working pretty well in our household. But in our household, and because we do live our life according to the Word of God, and the Word of God tells us that we are now one. When that man joins with their wife, we are now one. And so we treat that in everything across the board. So yes, it may not be an issue now, but it very well can become an issue later in the future.
For clarity's sake, what we're talking about here in this video is a situation where you have a husband and wife both working hard, both doing their thing, and one spouse just happens to make more than the other. What we're not talking about is a scenario where you have a wife out working hard and a husband at home playing video games and eating chips all day. That is a whole different conversation. But if you're both working and the wife makes more, you gotta have the mentality of team, us and we. It's not about I or me. It's about us and the future we're trying to build for ourselves and for the legacy that we're trying to build for generations to come. So always keep the team approach, the team mentality, because guess what? Things can change. I think one of the biggest reasons why it was never an issue for us is because my wife never made it an issue. And I had enough self-identity in myself to know who I was as a man, to know that I was going out and I was working hard every single day just like she was. And therefore, we crafted a plan of unity and we put on a unified front, and we were able to progress because of this.
That's right. Just imagine if I was to have given my husband a difficult time, just badgering him or just saying, man, you need to look for another job. I'm tired of working this hard. I'm tired of bringing in the money. Believe it or not, about 6 or 7 years after we got married, the roles actually changed. I then became a mom, and I wanted to be home with my children, and I wanted to be the one to take my children to preschool and things like that. So I'm actually home now. You know what, guys? I actually love it, and I don't feel guilty. I know that I'm doing my part in taking care of our children and taking care of our household. And if I would have given them a difficult time in the beginning, I might feel very, very guilty right now. I might feel very guilty pulling out that debit card or swiping and making a purchase or buying myself something. You know what? I don't feel any of that because in our marriage, in our home, we are one.
That's right, guys. So take that approach. That's our number one advice to you in this area, is to become one in your thought and in your action and in your deeds.
That's right. And I want to speak to the ladies out there. Build your husbands up. That's something that I always did. I would always thank him so much for working hard for our family. And I saw the effort. I saw him getting up in the mornings. And that's what I loved. I loved the fact that he wasn't a lazy man. And so I praised him with that. I actually showered him with a lot of praise and just thanking him. And I still do that to this very day. I'm so grateful to God that I have a husband that is a hardworking man, that is going to make sure that his family is provided for and his family has everything that they need. And let me just give you this bit of advice. Because I am home, I take pride in my job as a mother and as a wife. And so, yes, my husband is outside of the home bringing in the primary paycheck for our household, but I'm also the one that's making sure that that paycheck is used wisely. I'm not taking the money that's coming home and I'm not just splurging on so many nonsense things without things being taken care of at home. I'm making sure that I can always find creative ways to save money on grocery shopping to save, making sure that I meal plan, making sure that the home is organized, because I realize that order is key. If you're a disorganized person, trust me, I can almost guarantee you that your finances are disorganized as well too. So I take pride in my job of both of us making sure that we are doing our part with taking care of our family. Well, guys, if you all enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave us a comment in the comment section below. Give us your opinion. We like to hear different thoughts, regardless if you're not on the same page with us or if you're on another page, that's fine too. Don't forget, check us out over at our website at hisandhermoney.com and meet us back here next Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, where you will see the both of us sharing with you.
And don't forget to check out our podcast, The His and Her Money Show. All week long, we release content over there. You can listen to us on your commute, while you're at the gym, or while you're at work or at home. And it's information that you need to stay inspired on your journey to financial freedom. So be sure that if you have whether an Apple or an Android, go to your podcast app and search out the His and Her Money Show and subscribe today. Well, that's all we got for this time, guys. It's been great. Until next time, peace.
Bye.